Frazier, so the clip we ran at Babcock, I'm going to phrase it in a way maybe you have been asked because a lot of people are talking Leafs. What's going on with the Leafs?
I got to tell you, yesterday, Sid, when there was the combination of the Babcock quotes at the press conference and then the Dubas tweet that went out, I had people from other teams asking me that same question, like, what's going on there? And I think what you have right now is a situation where there's a lot of pressure. There's a lot of expectation. It's certainly not on the right railroad tracks at this point in time. And I think everybody is kind of revealing their frustration with what's going on. And I just think what this shows is how much is kind of at stake for the rest of this season. I think everybody knows the Maple Leafs are going to have to make some big decisions next year because of the cap situation. They know that they really hope that this would be a great year for them, a year where they could really challenge. We all see where this is going in the playoffs with a first-round meeting against a really good team. And when you're going into the playoffs, win or lose, you're supposed to be playing well. You're supposed to be in your process, like playing the way, yes, whether we win or lose, we are playing right now the way that we need to play to win. And that's not happening here. And I think the other thing that makes everybody nervous is that the goalie, who is the MVP of this team, is really struggling right now. And if he is in that point, he won't be able to cover up for a lot of mistakes.
Yeah, it's the wrong time for a crisis of confidence in your goaltender, especially one that's been saving you the entire year. So then let me ask you this. Will a first-round exit, no matter who it comes against, and right now that would be the third best team in the National Hockey League, would a first-round exit against the Bruins cause the Leafs to re-examine what they are doing with the coach or even maybe the formation of the roster?
Based on this week, how can you say no? Like, I think with the formation of the roster, look, I think the GM believes in his roster. I'm not convinced the coach believes in the roster. But I think whatever decisions that the general manager is going to have to make, Dubas, for the future, I think they will be determined by the players' play. The way that those players play in the last 3 weeks of the season and in the playoffs, however long they last, I think those will answer those questions for him and make his decisions, I don't know if simpler is the right word, but clear. I think right now you clearly have a situation with the coach where the coach doesn't believe as well in the roster and maybe might not believe in the direction. And I think what you have right now is, I don't even know if it matters how well the team does or doesn't do in the playoffs. I think the coach and the GM might have to have a conversation at the end of the year about, okay, regardless of how well we do or don't do we believe in this? Do we have the same vision? Do we think that this can win in the direction we're going? And to me, that's a bigger question than even if they do win the first round this year or more.
So, Frazier, if you're President Brendan Shanahan watching this over the last 24, 48 hours or longer going back to last week, you're thinking what?
Well, I'm thinking this doesn't need to happen right now. That would probably be my first thing. Like if I was running the Maple Leafs, I would be thinking, guys, regardless of what everybody may feel about each other, there's a bigger goal right now, and that's to win in the playoffs, and we have to get back onto that. Like, regardless of what Mike Babcock feels or Kyle Dubas feels or what anybody feels, there's a bigger goal here. And, how can we tell our players to put aside any individual differences and go for it if, publicly it looks like we're not on the same page? So I think that if I was in Shanahan's spot or above him, I would be saying this is not the time. And now is the time. One of the things that Babcock said the other day was sometimes you need adversity. And I know Kyle Dubas is that kind of person too. He believes that you learn what you are capable of through challenge. And if I was Shanahan, I would be saying, okay, you both believe that. You're both being challenged. Now, what are we all going to do about it? And that's the message he has to send, and the organization should be sending. Enough of this. Let's worry about beating the Boston Bruins.
Friedge, we appreciate it. The feed was a little skittish, but it hung in there.